Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is our next episode of the WWF Attitude Era's Raw is War. And finally, we are building up to our big finale pay-per-view next month, which will be the Great American Bash. So let's have a quick look at the card we have set for you this evening. We're going to start things off with Randy Orton taking on R-Truth, of course both former Intercontinental Champions. Booker T will take on Brock Lesnar. That might seem a bit one-sided, and it may very well be that way as well. We're going to see Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on The Rock in an Extreme Rules match. Shawn Michaels takes on his very good friend Triple H one-on-one here this evening. And our main event will be The Undertaker taking on Mankind. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match of the evening. And our first match this evening will be Randy Orton versus R-Truth. And here we go, of course, both former Intercontinental Champions here. Randy Orton actually lost his belt to R-Truth a few months back, which of course is going to make anybody pretty annoyed when they lose their championship to R-Truth. Of course, R-Truth is also the Attitude Era's King of the Ring, believe it or not. Could not believe that myself. Of course, he defeated Chris Jericho, Edge, and Eddie Guerrero to win the King of the Ring. And then went on the very next month to defeat Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship. So R-Truth was just incredible. He was the man with all the momentum, and he was the man that defeated Randy Orton for the Intercontinental belt. And it wasn't just Randy Orton, of course, he had Batista at ringside. And normally, with a combination like that, the game stands no chance. But this time, it was insistent that R-Truth should win that championship. Of course, Truth didn't hold it for too much longer. He lost it a couple of months after that in a fatal four-way ladder match to Scott Hall, I believe it was. And that was a great chance for both of these guys to really thrust themselves back into the title picture. Of course, Randy Orton is a former tag team champion as well, lost them belts at the last pay-per-view Bloodground to the APA. So, of course, he'll also be hoping to get back into the tag team title picture as well. And, of course, we will do some sort of #1 contendership match for that pretty soon. And another big thing from Bloodground as well, we saw the debut of the Dudley Boys. They answered the open challenge from Edge and Christian, and they answered it successfully as well, defeating Edge and Christian in that elimination tables match. And one of the highlights from that match, I don't want to spoil it, but one of the highlights was the fall-away slam from the top rope from Devon Dudley, putting Edge through the table. That was just an immense viewing. And of course, you can check out Bloodground by going to the description below, and you will find the link to the playlist. And the Bloodground video is one before this video. Randy Orton going for the pin here on R-Truth after that neck breaker, and that's a 3 count already. What a quick victory here for Randy Orton. Orton showing that he's not paid by the hour, just demolishing R-Truth pretty quickly here. Vertical suplex by Orton. And here's the neck break, which finished off, him hooking the leg over the top and just spinning R-Truth around, slamming him onto the mat. And that was enough for the 3 count. And R-Truth's run of momentum seems to have lost him. And Randy Orton continues his dominance here. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a younger Randy Orton and a younger Batista. And if we do, then they will be involved in our Attitude Era next year. But of course, we're going to have no Evolution next year. It's going to be DX. The likes of Randy Orton and Batista will be going as singles competitors in the Attitude Era. Of course, Orton looking for the Intercontinental Championship and Batista going for the World Championship. And match number 2 this evening will be Booker T taking on Brock Lesnar. And here we go, Brock Lesnar and Booker T. Who's going to come out on top of these two guys? I know who my favourite is in this one. But let's see if it pans out that way. Of course, Booker T is going to be on 2K16, and of course, the big news, and the news I'm very happy about, is that Stevie Ray makes his debut as well. He is going to be part of the downloadable content, the Legends downloadable content, I believe. So we are going to have Harlem Heat as part of our Attitude roster, sorry. That's going to be good. Booker T is also going to be involved in the title picture, of course, since he is the five-time World Heavyweight Champion. So Booker T will be involved in that as well. And of course also be involved in the tag team champion picture along with Stevie Ray. And that's, of course, as soon as Stevie Ray gets released as downloadable content. Not quite sure when the DLC is going to come out as yet, but I think the last one this year came out in January, so not too bad. I just don't know what the release dates of the DLC is. If you guys know, please let me know, because I want to know. The one I really want to know is the Legends one, which is going to have Trish and Lita, because those two are both big parts of my Attitude Era female roster. I want to make sure that I get those two straight away as quick as I possibly can. And I know this year, if you brought the season pass, you got Paige straight away, and I'm hoping we get one of those this year as well. But I'm not sure anything has been announced as of yet. I will be getting the season pass as soon as the game comes out, because obviously the DLC is really going to help us enhance our rosters. Guys like Samoa Joe and Blake and Murphy are really going to help us build up our NXT roster. Then, of course, you've got the Hall of Fame, which is really going to boost up our Retro roster. And then, of course, also boosting up our Attitude Era roster. Well, you've got the Legends one, which again is going to help us build up our Retro roster and our... and that's it. I'm talking bollocks as Brock Lesnar gets Booker T to tap out to the torture rack, and this is again, we saw this last week. It looked like it's going to be an incredibly fast episode here this evening. We've seen 2 squash matches essentially already. Booker T losing to Brock Lesnar pretty quickly, and again we also saw earlier on this evening R-Truth losing to Randy Orton pretty quickly. And as you see there, Brock Lesnar had Booker T locked in that torture rack. There's nowhere Booker T could go, and Lesnar just building upon the domination that we've already shown in this universe mode. He's just getting better and better. And of course, be sure to check out all of the rosters on this universe mode, because you never know where Brock Lesnar might turn up next. It's a little bit of maybe a hint of a spoiler there for you. Brock Lesnar could be anywhere, especially after Hell in a Cell, maybe. Another little bit. That's a bigger teaser, that one, really, isn't it? That's a big spoiler, that one. But like I said, please check out all of the rosters. You never know what's going to happen when some of these programs start to shut down and some of these guys start to look for work elsewhere. And now it's time for a little bit of Extreme Rules as Stone Cold Steve Austin takes on The Rock. And now we have the match here between the two very good friends. Shawn Michaels, your WWF champion, taking on Triple H. And here we go. And of course, you guys are getting a perfect opportunity to see what we are looking at for our Great American Bash finale pay-per-view. Austin versus The Rock. What a hell of a feud this is going to be to finish it all off. Of course, we'll also look at the Undertaker versus Mankind. We will see later on this evening. And of course, best of friends, Shawn Michaels and Triple H face off later on this evening as well. Very interesting match that's going to be. We know Triple H is desperate to get his hands on that WWF Championship, but of course, with his best friend Shawn Michaels holding the belt at the moment, things can be a little bit awkward, shall we say. But I'm sure that the match we'll see later on this evening is going to be full of respect. Whether it's going to lead to Triple H getting a title match at the Great American Bash, we'll have to wait and see. But we've seen a lot of people given the opportunity. Rock's had a shot now. Austin's had a shot. Undertaker's been against Shawn Michaels, as a CM Punk. Shawn Michaels managed to defeat all 4 of those guys, and that's an incredible record, really. And now Triple H, you've got to expect, is next in line for a title shot. Of course, on 2K16, one of the things I really like on 2K16 actually is we're going to have a retro version of The Rock and a retro version of Austin as well. So we're going to have a proper Attitude Era version of both of those guys, which also means we're going to have a current day version of both of those guys as well. So it means that the likes of Austin and The Rock may get involved in the current day roster at certain points, as will the likes of The Undertaker and Sting as well. We're going to get legend versions of all of those guys that we can use in our current day roster, so that's going to be a massive improvement. The best thing I like about The Rock is that The Rock's actually going to be part of the Nation of Domination in the Attitude Era as well. Of course, you're going to have Farouk, Kama Mustafa, D'Lo Brown, a younger Mark Henry, and a Rock, all going to be part of that Nation of Domination. And of course, Austin is just going to be freeballing the whole way through our Attitude Era. And I'm really enjoying the chance to use Austin, because we also have Vince McMahon as well. So maybe we could do an Austin versus McMahon feud McMahon obviously leading a corporation-style stable alongside the British Bulldog. Not the British Bulldog, sorry. The Big Boss Man is what I meant to say. You can have the Big Show, Paul White, and Shane McMahon as well. So it really does open a lot of possibilities in our Attitude Era game. And I've been watching a few people play in the new 2K15 game, especially the Universe mode. And one thing I have noticed is that I can't seem to see the storylines. You know, this year we could unlock certain rivalries and pick which rivalry we wanted to use for the rivalry. If that makes sense. You pick the storyline you want to use for a certain rivalry, and we had specific ones such as there was Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio, there was the Undertaker versus an opponent, there was Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro, and I was hoping they were going to build on that for next year, and I'm not sure they have, because every time I see somebody using the Universe mode, that option seems to have disappeared. I'm hoping it's just moved and I've not seen it, because I was really hoping that would be something they'd expand and do things such as Austin versus Vince McMahon, and along them sort of lines would really be the big one. And there's The Rock with a rock bottom, going in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close to a 3 count. Austin back up on his feet now. They're throwing The Rock straight back into that corner, following up the clothesline. Austin slides out the ring and is looking for some weaponry, and Rock seems to be giving him a little bit of time, and Austin has himself a kendo stick. The Rock going around the other side of the ring looking to maybe look for a weapon himself. No, he's just backing away from Austin. You don't blame him when Austin's got that kendo stick, but Rock finally makes his way back towards Austin, and it's probably a bad idea as Austin hits him straight across the forehead with the kendo stick, now continuing the assault to the back of the Rock. Austin throws Rock back into the ring, and that kendo stick's going to do some damage to the forehead of the Rock as well. And I've got a lot of beers going on my desk here right now. So I'm just taking the paper off my bottle of Stella, because it goes in my mouth. I don't know why. So I'm procrastinating again here, just going off in completely random direction. You guys don't care about my beer situation, do you? You might do when I start recording Combat Zone Wrestling later and I'm slurring my words, but there again, we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. There's a backdrop by Austin on the Rock on the outside, doing some damage to the Rock, really. That matting is very, very thin on the outside, not going to protect you too much. Austin now with the elbow to the face of the Rock as well. Rock really feeling that one. Austin not sort of building upon that momentum though, allowing the Rock to come back outside and join him. And there's Austin with a Stone Cold Stunner. Although he's not going to be able to build upon that as well, because it is on the outside, and of course in Extreme Rules, only pinfalls and submissions within the confines of the ring will finish this match off. And I tell you what, just to go completely again random off of script, not there is a script for this bollocks, as you can probably tell. I bought a new microphone about 3 or 4 months ago, and I brought what's called a pop filter, which is essentially a pair of tights just stretched across a ring that sits in front of the microphone. I'm so glad I did get it, because I've realised the whole thing is just absolutely covered in my spit, because I tend to spit a lot when I shout. Not that you guys really care about that, do you really? But there you go. But it has been said now, it has happened. And if you can hear that, that's me just rubbing the pop filter. Right, back to the action, of course. The Rock now on the outside with Austin. The both guys just run into each other stupidly, and now just walk into each other for a while. That's a bit annoying as well. Like I said, the 2K16 does boast a lot better AI, and I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, it does look a lot better. I've been watching some guys play it. Of course, guys like Tony Pizza Guy and Smack Talk and Denk Ops and Tubby Emu have all managed to get early footage from 2K16. So they're starting to release a lot of videos now, and it really is looking fantastic. Just the way the guys act in the ring looks a lot better as well. Like when they get hit with moves like this, instead of just getting up, they slowly make their way back to their feet, and they still look a bit groggy, and I think that really makes the game look a lot better. The match is going to look a lot more realistic next year, to be sure. Of course, the reversal system's been changed for next year as well, so it's going to reduce the amount of reversals people can use. So it's not going to be the case of this match where it's reversal, 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 reversal. Basically, you're going to have a certain amount to start with depending on some of your stats, and then once you use them, you have to slowly build them back up. So that's going to be a great addition as well. And with the Universe mode, one of the main changes they've made, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is going to be the there's certain effects which can be applied as well during feuds, and as a result of feuds as well. Things such as momentum boosts, which will slowly increase your stats for a while, help you pick up more victories. There's also the reversal of that as well. You can have a losing streak, as The Rock there with a belly to belly through the announce table on Austin. You can also go through losing streaks, and as you go through a losing streak, it'll actually reduce your stats as well for a while, and that's going to affect people. But one of the main things I like to look at is minor injuries, minor and major injuries. Now, minor and major injuries are injuries where you can still continue, but you'll go into every single match with a certain sort of like body part injured, and that's going to be a big part of feuds, I think. For example, somebody might damage somebody's arm in some way during the match, and then during that feud, they will take that arm injury forward, and that could obviously affect the big main event at the pay-per-view, the big finale of the feud. Maybe somebody like Del Rio. Well, it wouldn't be Del Rio because he's not in the game, is he? Let's go for Jack Swagger. It's a bit of a basic one, but there you go. Maybe someone like Jack Swagger would injure somebody's ankle and give them a critical ankle injury. Or again, a major ankle injury, sorry. And that would lead to that injury being taken all the way forward to the pay-per-view, and that means when Jack Swagger locks in the ankle lock, his opponent is a lot more likely to tap out. So that's a really nice little addition to the game. Of course, there's going to be minor injuries, which are going to basically be orange injuries. There's major injuries, which means you'll start the match as a red. And there's critical injuries, which means you will not be able to wrestle whatsoever. As Austin with a second stunner of the match, and surely that's going to be all. 1, 2. No, The Rock still kicks out, and The Rock has been busted open at some point as well. And I cannot believe The Rock has just tapped out to that second stunner. Of course, Austin did take his time going for the pin, which probably hasn't helped him, as now The Rock locking in a Boston Crab on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Could this be all? The Rock really just arcing back there, trying to get as much pressure on the back of Austin as possible. It's not enough. Austin uses his lower body strength just to throw The Rock out. Going for the pin. Still only a 2 count. The Rock still survives. Oh, yeah, that could be all now, though. A third Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner is finally going to knock The Rock off. There it is. There's the 3 count. Austin picks up the vital first victory in this feud, which is going to lead us all the way to the Great American Bash, our big finale episode in 4 in-week games. I'm stressing in-week because, of course, it will be uploaded before 2K16 is released next Friday. So be sure to keep an eye on this channel to see that massive, massive feud develop. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. Who can go wrong with that? That's just a feud made in heaven, and it will be one we use a lot in 2K16 as well. There's the pin, which finally finished off after the third stunner of the match. And as you see, Austin goes for his patented celebration here. I'm hoping with the Attitude Era Austin, that he might even get the beers thrown to him, because that's something that Austin used to do quite a lot. So throwing the beers to him would really, I think, enhance his celebration as well. But Austin picks up a huge victory here against The Rock in the first match of this feud. The Rock has it all to play for now next week, and you'll have to, of course, stay tuned to this channel to see how this feud develops. And here we go, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And of course, as I mentioned in the last match, it's going to be the same for this one as well in our 2K16 roster, as I believe there is an Attitude Era version of both Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So that's going to really make that look a lot better as well. And it also means we'll have a Triple H and Shawn Michaels to be able to use whenever we want in the current day roster as well. So that's a very interesting one, that one. And it does mean, I think we will have some sort of authority stable in the current day roster as well. We're going to start off with Rollins in there, but I've got a strong feeling that Sheamus... I've got a strong feeling, this is just me now talking as we go. In WWE current day, I've got a strong feeling that eventually Seth Rollins will be replaced in the authority by Sheamus. Of course, Sheamus is Mr. Money in the Bank, and there's always been the rumour of Triple H versus Seth Rollins as a feud, which I think will be fantastic. But I think that would also involve Sheamus maybe... I think probably Sheamus cashing his Money in the Bank and Triple H helping Sheamus to win that belt. And of course that would mean Seth Rollins goes face, setting up the feud between Triple H and Seth. And I think that would definitely be a fantastic feud for the WWE to go forward with, and maybe that's something I can look at as well in our 2K16 universe mode. But of course we will start off with Triple H. We'll have Corporate Kane in there as well, maybe. Seth Rollins as the champion. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Like I said, there's an endless amount of things we can do in that universe mode. It's really going to be up to you guys as well what we do. If you do have any suggestions or any requests, please let me know in the comment section below. As you've seen by this Attitude Era roster, I have taken some of Kenny's requests of recent and really run with them. We did the Blood Ground pay-per-view as he suggested, and of course we also ran with the feud between Hogan and Austin, which was our big first blood match at Blood Ground as well. So again, thank you to Kenny for those suggestions. They have been absolutely fantastic and they've really helped us out. And again, if you guys have any suggestions for things you would like to see, please, please, please let me know in the comment section below, and we will try and force as many in as we possibly can next year. And of course you guys will get a nice shout out whenever I do use one of yours. But back to this match here, and Shawn Michaels is doing a fantastic job here against Triple H. And remember, these two guys are the best of friends, so there's a lot of respect being shown in this match as well, as Michaels locking in a sharpshooter submission there, but Triple H reaches the ropes and Michaels releases the hold straight away. And there's the sweet chin music by Shawn Michaels. Could this be all? Going in for the pin, 1, 2, and it is 3. The WWF Champion Shawn Michaels picks up the victory here over Triple H. See him locking in the sharpshooter early in the match, trying to do some damage. Of course, it was not enough to finish off the match. But there's the sweet chin music. Triple H rocked, back on his feet. And Shawn Michaels keeps him down for the 3 count. You see Michaels incredibly happy with that victory over his very good friend Triple H. And how will this develop? Now we know Triple H is desperate to get his hands on those WWF Championship, but he really doesn't want to risk losing his friendship with Shawn Michaels at all. However, I think he's going to have to pick one or the other moving forward to the Great American Bash. Which way will he go? We will have to see as this feud develops. And now it's time for our main event here this evening as The Undertaker takes on Mankind. See these two guys sharing some mutual respect before the match here, having a bit of a conversation, The Undertaker and Mankind. And I must admit, in all my time of using this universe mode, I have never seen that cutscene before. And it's always good to see these extra little ones. It's nice, but to think that we're a week shy of 2K16 and I've just finally seen a brand new cutscene is a bit strange. But of course, The Undertaker vs Mankind is a fantastic feud to use. As there's a chokeslam very early on by The Undertaker. He hasn't finished off Mankind already, surely. Going for the pin. 1. Only a 1 count. So like I said, of course, this is a fantastic feud and a very historical feud as well. Of course, this was one of the... was this the first ever Hell in a Cell match? I think it might have been, you know. So my memory is really starting to defeat me here. I think The Undertaker vs Mankind was the first ever Hell in a Cell match. And Mankind, you see, taking the top off the announce table, showing his hardcore roots. And what's Mankind got planned here? Sets The Undertaker up onto the table himself. What's Mankind going for? He's not. He is. Double arm DDT. The Undertaker goes for the announce table. Mankind showing his hardcore roots here. And of course, Mankind is actually in 2K16 as well, so that's going to be another fantastic addition. Not sure what I'm doing with my Mick Foley's as of yet, as The Undertaker hits a tombstone on the outside and goes back in the ring, breaks the count and gets back outside the ring to continue his assault on Mankind. Of course, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with my Mick Foley's. I have got Mankind, I've got Cactus Jack, and I've got Dude Love to play with. Dude Love is going to go straight into our Retro roster. I know that. I think Mankind's going to go into our Attitude Era roster. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Cactus yet. I'm thinking I might do Cactus and Mankind switch and change depending on the storyline we're in. And of course we could also use them both for current day with a random little feud here and there, just to see how things go. And we have got several Undertakers. Well, we do have a retro Undertaker as well as a current day Undertaker. So that's really going to help us out again with our Attitude Era roster. Of course, we are going to have, as I've gone through the show here this evening, I've sort of described it as we're going along. We're going to have an Attitude Era Undertaker. We're going to have a Mankind. We're going to have a retro Triple H. We're going to have an Attitude Shawn Michaels, an Attitude Rock, an Attitude Austin. So it's really going to improve the quality of our Attitude Era roster. It's really going to look a lot better as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Because of course both these guys at the moment in the ring are cores. I've had to download an Undertaker, I've had to download a Mankind as well. So again, we're gaining space that we never had next year. And that allows us to download other guys to really fill in the rosters. Somebody seems to be trying to contact me on the old YouTube. Yep, I don't care about that. Okay. So somebody just commented on one of my comments on a different video. I was simply asking on another video, I think it was one of the Den Cop videos, to see whether we still are definitely only going to have 3 feuds and 4 championships. It looks like that is the definite case, which to me is really disappointing because it's such a simple thing to change, and it just makes no sense to keep it that way, especially when the WWE at the moment are running, of course, 2 mid-card championships, and the game does not let you do that unless you have your SmackDown and Raw roster. It's really disappointing, but it is something that we can get around quite easily just by running the championships manually by ourselves, and it is something we will do, of course. As the Undertaker continues the assault here on Mankind, and is this the? See, I didn't start watching wrestling until Mick Foley was just about to retire, but. Is the Mankind attire he's wearing right now, is that the attire that he wore when he was part of the Ministry? It's just that I recognise the T that he's got on his shirt looks very much like the Undertaker's T, and I was wondering whether that could be, as the Undertaker hits the snake eyes and follows up with that big boot, and now a leg drop as well, and Taker's really just demolishing Mankind. Could that be all here? 1, 2... And it is 3 count. The Undertaker defeats Mankind here in what has been an incredibly strong showing by the Undertaker. There's the tombstone on the outside. That really did a lot of damage to Mankind. But of course, he had to really build upon that to finish him off. Great win here for the Undertaker. Busted open when put through the announce table by Mankind. We saw a fantastic show of mutual respect at the beginning of this match, and the mutual respect was shown the whole way through. Great win here for the Undertaker, but I'm sure Mankind will come back fighting next week. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We've seen a great episode of Monday Night Raw, or Friday Night Raw is War, if you will. We've seen some great matches, the beginning of some new feuds, and we're going to be building towards our Great American Bash pay-per-view now in 4 in-game weeks. My words are just going everywhere now. So yeah, be sure to keep an eye on this channel because we will be ploughing these videos on incredibly quick now, and I hope you guys will be there to enjoy all of them as we build up to 2K16. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.